This is the Supercar Connection podcast, bringing you behind-the-scenes conversations from across the industry. If you love supercars, you're in the right place. So let's hit it. Today we're coming to you from Miami, Florida. We sit down in the MPH Club showroom with owner Liram Sustiel. MPH Club is one of the biggest exotic car rental businesses in the country. They frequently rent out to high-profile celebrities with over 80 cars in their fleet. We were actually pushing their matte black Cullinan all weekend. It was awesome. If you're ever in Miami, you have to check them out.
Most of my family lives here. So I've been coming back and forth to Miami since I was literally like this big. So these boys have no ties back to this place. And the reason why, are we rolling too? I can dial into it?
It's all on.
Perfect. Yeah. The reason why this is like sitting here and looking at all this right now and why it's so significant is because, like I told you the other day, you guys are the reason why I drove my first supercar. It's awesome. And we built this entire brand off of experiencing supercars. And like we wanted to do, this whole point of the podcast and the social media brand and everything we're going to build off of it is trying to connect the everyday person, because him and I were once people that were car enthusiasts and love cars and everything between, specifically in the realm of supercars, but had no idea, no realm to be able to connect to that level. Mm-hmm. Everybody that hops on a podcast or hops on social media to talk about it, it's more so from like a flaunting stage. They're like, oh yeah, this is what I have. This is how I drive it. It drives like this. We wanted to present an angle talking to people that were in this realm, but connect the experience side of it to what it is.
Yeah, and bro, that's one of the reasons why I got into this business originally, and I didn't really comprehend it until I got into it. And the first couple of transactions I learned real quick when I was renting cars in the beginning, and I was personally delivering cars to clients and showing up to a guy's house and delivering a brand new Ferrari to his house, and coming outside the house with smiling ear to ear, freaking out like, holy shit, this is my first Ferrari driving. This is my first car ever renting like this. It's amazing. Thank you so much for making this possible. I'm like, you're thanking me? I'm thanking you. You're paying me for this. Yeah, this is amazing.
Right, 100%.
And at the same time, like, I realized, wow, okay, I'm actually providing a pretty cool experience to people that you don't necessarily need to buy a $400,000 car. For $1,000 you rent it for the day. Your experience is phenomenal, and it just it comes with a lot of positive energy, and I like that. I'm really big into energy. I believe in that.
Likewise.
I'd rather than religion, I go to religion. Right. Sorry, rather religion, I go to
Understood,
energy.
100%.
And yeah, that makes more sense for me. That's why.
Trust me. That when I was 18 years old, and everything between, I came here with my old man, and we rented. I think it was the time it was a Portofino, or it might have been a Huracan. I can't remember. But literally being able just to drive that car changed everything I thought about everything. And even being in Miami, I drove it down the Rickenbacker Causeway. I looked at everything and I started piecing together the way that money worked, the way that money moved, understanding the way that the car made me feel, expanding my mind from being a 16 or an 18-year-old kid coming from LA. It changed my perspective on everything. I got bitten by that bug. And then from that moment on, I've been on a mission to get back into supercars. And now I'm at a point now where I have a 720 and like the journey, and it's literally all because of you and MPH Club. So awesome, I'm eternally grateful for this place. That's why this episode specifically means a lot to me.
Touches all. I appreciate that, man. Yes, that's awesome, man.
Yes.
And for the people out there, and we've heard this before from a lot of the like successful folks that we've sat down with before. A lot of them started with renting a supercar, and that's kind of what changed things. I luckily didn't have to put money up to rent a supercar to drive my first supercar, thanks to the connections of my boy here. But like, when you get behind the wheel of one of these cars, it changes your whole perspective. I mean, I grew up obsessed with these things. So, without ever driving them, right? I knew I would enjoy it. I love fast cars. I love beautiful cars. I love all of it. So I'm like, okay, well, when I can drive, I'm going to love it.
Yeah.
But it's still just a concept until you actually sit behind the wheel and rip a Huracan down the highway, right? And then you do that, and it becomes more of just like, oh, that's a goal and that's a concept, to I have to have this and I have to make this happen as soon as I possibly can. And that's when like it just totally switched my whole gear into drive. I was kind of just coasting.
And the second you own your first one, you feel so accomplished. Like, you know what? I made it. I'm good.
Yes.
I get to enjoy it.
So
bills due every month. I got to pay though.
Every month that thing is due. We got to hustle. That's the biggest thing.
Yep.
People, I feel like even talking about like a perspective of owning the vehicles, because now like you're at a point now where like you have a crazy fleet, and having a rental car fleet is not like, in terms of, we'll get into this in the details, stuff like that. But I imagine due to the fact that you can carry like depreciation, stuff like that, it's not as glorious as everyone seems, because you just see all these vehicles and you're like, dude, look at all these sticker prices. At the same time, you have to consider every other little obstacle, but a lot of people don't think that way. But when you own a supercar, like your own personal ownership, it drives you into literally like sixth gear, to the point where you're like, the monthly payments due. I got to pay my insurance. I don't want to step back from this. I need to continue to push forward. What's the next goal? What are we going to do next? Now I got to expand the way that I think.
Yeah.
And it creates the supercar, in my opinion, is especially for anybody that's into cars, it creates an ability for your mind to grow into deeper things and pushes you to the point where like you have no choice but to grow.
Yep.
That's it.
Did you have a moment like that? Was the first car?
Yeah.
Was the first supercar you
What did
drove?
it click?
Yeah, my first time, I was like probably like 10, 11 years old. I was at a family vacation. We were in Key West, and I walked downstairs from the hotel we're at. I go outside to the valet, and there's a purple Diablo sitting outside. And to
That'll
me,
do it.
when I first saw it, I thought it was a spaceship.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell is this? This is insane. The second I saw it, I was mesmerized. I almost went to go touch the car. My mom grabbed me, pulled me away from the car. But that's when it really sparked. That's when I said, what is that? And I got into it, started buying magazines, cutting the pictures up, putting them on my wall, my house, my room. And I was just obsessed about cars. So much that I rather, when I got older and I had enough money, I'd rather pay my car bill than buy my next food, my next meal. Or even pay rent. I don't give a fuck about rent. I'll live in my car. That was my passion. I preferred that. If I had to choose, obviously there's no choice. I mean, who gives a fuck about the apartment?
Right.
The car is more important. I'm not losing my car.
Yep.
So it came to that point a couple times in my life. But yeah, and then that's technically like how this whole concept started. And I wanted to continue growing. I was an addict. I was obsessed.
Right.
Yeah.
I had a Chevy Cavalier as my first car. It got me around, did the job for the first year, and I quickly said, this is not for me. I need something else. My dad just surprised me with the Chevy Cavalier. I'm like, it was kind of bittersweet. It's like, great, I got a car, but it's not what I want.
Right.
Whatever. I got it. I took it. Can't complain. It's an amazing car. But it motivated me to upgrade, right? And the second I could upgrade, I did. And I went all in. Didn't financially do this correctly. This is not financial advice at all. But I
Disclaimer. No
this is
financial
definitely not
advice.
financial advice. But what I did is I immediately I owned a moving company at the time when I was younger. I worked for a moving company during high school. Let me give you a little backstory so we get to the point. But technically, I'm a hustler, right? I've been hustling since day one. And I've learned quickly in life how to make money in order to buy things that I wanted. I wanted sneakers, so I had to learn how to make money to buy my sneakers. And eventually those things just grew. And between sneakers to clothes to an apartment to a car. And that's where I really wanted. That was my goal. So I worked for a moving company over the summer when I was a young child. I was probably like in high school age. And I learned the business very quickly. And so quickly that I said, I'm going to open my own moving company. Now, I'm in 11th grade in high school, opening up my own moving company, leasing a truck, leasing a warehouse, hiring employees.
Whole nine.
I'm fucking 16, 17 years old.
Right.
And I did it for a couple of years. I wanted to drop out of high school. My parents didn't let me. And I did pretty well. I provided, I showed that I can handle this, and they trusted me. Said, all right, you don't have to go to college, but you definitely have to finish high school. So I barely finished high school. Then I got my attendance, and I quickly went to the working field and started making money. The money I was making, I wanted to upgrade my car, and that's the whole purpose. That's my life goal. Right. But there's a lot more to it. As a teenager, you're not thinking too straight.
Yeah.
So I quickly upgraded my car. My first exotic, quote unquote, was like an SL55, a Mercedes SL55.
Yeah.
Beautiful car, more than $100,000 car at 17 years old. Just graduated high school, and I'm trying to upgrade my car. And this car is insane, guys. This is a ridiculous car. It just came out. They were very hard to get, and I bought the car immediately. I upgraded my car to it, but I didn't financially set myself straight because there was really months that I had to pay rent or pay the financing note on the car. I obviously picked the car. That was my baby. That's what I cared about.
Cannot blame you.
And that's where I realized I have a problem. And say, okay, I need to really get my shit together.
Right.
And I constantly thought of this concept for a while, right? Like, all right, what if I just share my car with somebody so it can help me pay the bills? And nothing came out of it after a couple of years. I tried this out. I had a movie company for years. I sold the company. And deep down inside, I'm a computer geek. I'm really good with websites and optimizing them. So one day I decided to have this concept of like, what if I just build a fake facade? Let me just generate some leads. Let me see if people are actually interested in doing this, because this is unheard of. 14, 15 years ago, nobody was really doing this. Toro was not around. Nobody was around, right?
Nothing, yeah. Laws were even in place, I believe, I'm not mistaken, to
it was
restrict
weird.
this type of thing. It was a very weird, dark space.
You can rent a car, but nobody rents a Ferrari.
Yeah,
that's
100%.
insane, right? You're stupid to do that. No one does that.
Right.
So I built this fake facade. I took pictures from Google, from all over the place, and built a fake website that generated leads for me. And I realized there's a big demand. A lot of people were inquiring about renting these high-end cars, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Rolls Royces, because of their weddings. There's so many different things in the industry. I'm like, wow, let me buy one car and let me try this out. A year went by. I got together with my boy at the time when we started the company together, and we grew the balls one day and said, fuck it, let's do it. All right, let's go.
What do we have to lose?
Yeah, but what do I have to lose? A lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Again, this is not financial advice, but me and my boy, after
What do
a
we
year
have
of
to
bouncing the
lose?
idea back and forth, we went to our good friend's dealership. It was a Lamborghini dealership in Miami. And we went to his place and begged him to sell us a car and tried to get me approved. Bro, it's insane. I went from like, at the time I had a Lexus. It was like a $50,000 Lexus that was leased. I'm jumping to a $300,000 Lamborghini. It was a Gallardo Spider at the time. It was my first exotic car, official exotic car. And it wasn't a simple thing for me to get approved. It was a bunch of banks that denied us. And eventually on the 17th bank, they finally approved us. And again, 17 denials.
17th
Right.
bank.
17th bank, bro. I'm not exaggerating. 17 fucking banks. I'll never forget that.
What was the term?
Oh my God, it was
remember?
horrible. It was like a 6-year term, 10% interest rate. Well, 10%, we're talking about 14 years ago, guys.
yeah,
This is
back
not
then it's
normal.
different. Yeah, no,
Today
very
is
different.
normal, right?
Yeah, back then it's not.
Yeah, 14 years ago, 10% was like, is a gangster loan, right?
Yeah, literally.
So I had no choice. Took the car. So got the car, and I drove the car for a day or two, enjoyed it. Said, all right, we got about 30 days until the bill comes. We have to make $3,500, or was it $4,500 for the note to pay it before the bill comes. So let's see how we can make this happen. Once or twice, we're generating leads now. So I called 2 or 3 clients. We ended up booking them, renting the cars out, and it worked perfectly fine. So the concept worked, right? After 2-3 months of doing this, we realized, all right, it's a free car. Cool. All the expenses are getting paid. It's a free car. I get to enjoy it. I get to rent it. I meet some cool people. I met a very wealthy guy the other day who owns like 10 restaurants. Like, cool clientele, because you're obviously renting something very expensive.
Very much. Building your network simultaneously,
Yeah.
the whole nine.
And I'm learning about the business at the same time. So it's all new to me. I never rented cars before. It's insane. I'm a computer geek. I build websites, bro. It's weird. But 2-3 months of doing this, one guy, never met him, over the phone, 5-minute transaction, took the car for a month. It was insane.
A whole month?
A whole month. Big transaction. I could take that whole capital and pay off my debt and get even and feel comfortable,
Or get a
go
new
buy
car.
a second car. Guess what I did?
Saw that coming.
Yep. Bought a second car. Went to the Ferrari dealership now. Bought a 458 Italia. That was my second car.
Sweet car.
Yeah. After 3 months of doing this, bought a second exotic. And that's when the business really said, all right, there's potential here, man. Let's continue running this. So me and my boy focused on it 100%. And after a year of doing it, 10 cars later, we grew an exotic car rental company and realized, shit, we're really doing this. This is a real business now. And that's what the business really started. And literally over year after year, we're just growing, 15 cars, 20 cars, 30 cars. And bro, we're about 85 cars in our fleet right now, which is mind-boggling. Insane.
Mind-boggling, yeah.
Some of the cars behind me, it's insane. This is almost $1 million SF90 Spider. This is ridiculous.
Brand new delivery, guys. Right
Brand
behind
new.
us
We
is
literally
Red
just got
SF90,
it.
literally.
It's crazy. So there's a lot of amazing cars that we're getting, and the whole concept of the business changed, and you got to adapt and grow with the industry. But the passion has not left. That's for sure. I'm still
tell.
obsessed with these cars. I'm still jaw dropping on the new cars. Like for example, I put a couple of deposits to get the Ferrari Persangway, right, the new SUV.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested by that. 'Cause that's like a daily car. The
Right.
sports cars are for hey, when you're in the mood. But the SUVs, it's my daily.
Yeah, very nice, very clean.
So yeah, that's pretty much a quick story about the whole concept how I started.
It's a hell of ability to scale too.
Yeah,
real.
What was the time frame for you to get to let's say when you got for the second car to let's say 10 cars?
1 year.
1 year.
One whole year, yeah. Yeah. Every month or two, we wanted to go buy another one, and another one, and another one. Yeah.
What were the financing deals like? I know you told me the terms.
They were not good, bro.
What were you guys putting down?
They were
at
not
that
good.
time?
Probably 20% down on each car.
not terrible.
That's big. That's a lot, bro.
Right,
Today, I could go buy a car,
can
$500,000
leverage
car,
shit.
sign and drive. Homie.
Yeah.
I don't have to put a penny down. It's amazing. I can sign and drive. The bill comes in 45 days. That's today.
Right.
But
Yeah.
14 years ago.
Different story.
Who the hell are you?
You make the first 3 payments before the first bill even comes.
Yeah,
Literally.
yeah. The terms were not fair back then, for sure.
Just correct me if I'm wrong. At that time, were there not laws in place that try to restrict renting those type of vehicles or not?
Yeah, they were you know
were
what?
some of
They
the
were the
obstacles?
gray area, right?
That's what it was.
The only way you could get caught is if you literally call them and tell them, right?
Yeah.
These are banks. These are big banks, and they didn't really dissect and really investigate every single one of them. Now they are. It's a little different now. The industry has changed. But in the beginning is only if the car got to an accident or if you call and tell them, which would be the only way you could really get caught with it. But hey, if you're paying your notes every month, they're not going to bother you.
They don't care. They didn't give a shit. What have you ever run into any trouble with the police, anything like that?
In the police.
Yeah, in terms of, let's say,
Absolutely
like a
not.
client, like again, I'm talking about in a time frame of 10, 15 years ago when
Yeah.
you first started.
Oh, I
Client
have
gets pulled
tons
over.
of issues, but police no.
Never?
No, if somebody gets pulled over while they do reckless driving, yeah, they get pulled over, they get arrested, the car gets impounded, I have to get the car to impound.
That's always fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it happens. It happened a couple times. I dealt with it. Situations happen, accidents happen. Nobody does things on purpose. This business does come with a lot. It's a business at the end of the day, right?
Very much so.
There's headaches, and
Just
the
like
headaches are this big compared to the happiness that it brings me, right? So some people can't take the pressure because it is a very heavy set pressure.
Stress,
Yeah, it's very
Stress
stressful
business.
for sure. I love it. Our business is open 24/7 technically, right? We have a physical location that's open 7 days a week from 9 to 6, but technically we're open 24/7. Client lands at 10 o'clock at night, I'll make sure that car gets delivered at 10 o'clock at night. So we make things happen.
Very much so. Have you ever had, what's the craziest client delivery experience that you've had?
A lot.
Let's hear. I want to hear some of the craziest stuff. Because again, you have not only such a crazy clientele, but you have built a presence in this space. Like in my opinion, you guys are the #1 exotic rental car company probably in all the United States. In terms of presence, I've seen you guys with some of the most high profile clients before. So I'm very curious to see what is some of the craziest, even delivery stories or even client stories in terms of having to drop a certain amount of vehicles off or doing anything in between.
Yeah, we have a lot of really cool stories, man. I met so many celebrities. It's insane. It's really cool. I become a lot of friendly with a couple of them. A quick story, pretty much like in the beginning when we first started, social media, Instagram was not around, guys. Instagram's 10 years old, right? This business is 14 years old. So the first year or two, Instagram was not around. And it finally popped off. And when it first started, everybody was downloading, it went viral. Everybody wanted to open an account. There was only like some big celebrities got 1 million followers. And then this guy came around with a really cool Instagram portfolio and blowing up cars, shooting guns, and a bunch of cool girls everywhere. And his name is Dan Bazarian. I'm sure you guys know who he is, right?
Yes, very much so.
I'm sure everyone knows who he is.
Yeah, he's a definition of a man, right?
Yes, literally.
So, yeah, when it first came around, he didn't even have 1 million followers at the time. He had like 700K or something like that. Just barely broke 1 million.
Which was a lot at the time.
And that was a
very
lot.
much so.
That was
Yeah.
insane. Yeah, that was really insane. So what happened is I met him through Instagram. He just DM'd us, yo, I'm coming to Miami. How much you rent some cars? And I said, wow, this is pretty cool. I've been following you for a minute. Your shit is ridiculous.
Yeah, you do
I
shit
want to
like-
meet you, bro.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, I want to shake your hand and talk to you. I want to pick your brain. So we end up talking to him for a couple of minutes. He said, I'm coming next week. We end up scheduling 2 cars that he wanted. We delivered the 2 cars to the private airport. He landed with his private jet. It was a pretty cool experience. It was very, very quick. I presented him a deal and said, I don't want your money. Give me a shout out. Those were the days where nobody really knew what shout out meant, but I saw the value in that. Like, you have 700,000 human beings all over this planet.
That fast. To be able to reach them
Yes.
that fast.
Yes.
Yeah, but 700,000 people all over the world are following you, and they're mostly guys. I'm a guy, and I'm looking at you. I'm like, you're cool.
Yeah,
You look
literally.
fucking cool, bro.
100%.
You know what? Let's get creative with this marketing. Don't pay me. I'm going to give you the cars for free. Give me a shout out. Thank me somehow. Tag me, and that's it. Shout outs were not a thing then.
No.
Nobody was giving shout outs.
Social media marketing was still fucking coming into its own. It wasn't even
Yeah.
a concept that was fathomable. It was
Instagram
just
was literally
like-
a year old.
Literally.
So that was the concept that I came up with and said, I pitched it to him and he's like, all right, bet, no problem. Let's do it. Like, oh, cool. All right. Of course. Why not? Yeah.
gonna
Instead
get
of
a
paying
free
me
car, yeah.
10 grand for the cars, just give it to me for free.
Right.
So he ends up landing. We showed up to the cars. We delivered the 2 cars to him and he gets off the airplane. Standard. Guy comes down. 6 girls follow him. Homie's eating because
Right.
he's constantly working out, right? So he's eating a plate. What's up, bro? Nice to meet you. What's going on? Cool. These are the cars. Awesome. Thanks, man. Peace out. Give him the keys. Gets in the car and leaves. It was like 6 minutes. It's like, yo, I just gave 2 cars away to a complete stranger. Didn't get his phone number. Didn't get his license. Didn't get his insurance. Nothing, bro. I just really risked it. And I'm like, all right, I hope this really converts and works out. Let's see what happens. Took the car. That was a Friday night. Sunday, he texts me. He goes, I'm on the way to the airport. I'm like, all right, cool. When will we be there? He goes, I'm 6 minutes away. I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
Right.
Scrambling, freaking out. I'm getting there. I literally pull up. I see him in the rearview mirror. Like, oh, he's right behind me. I got here right before he did. So he pulls up, parks the 2 cars in a really strategic way. And I'm like, all right, I kind of understood what he's trying to do. He gets out of the car, walks towards me, and he goes, take a picture of me. He hands me his phone. Take the phone. I take a picture of him and give it back to him. Through the app. One option. One
yeah,
picture.
that was
Don't
it.
fuck this up.
Right.
One picture. Click. All right, it's there. Here you go. I hand it to him. He goes, what's your Instagram? MPH Club. Done. See you next week, bro. See you next time, bro. And he leaves. Drops the post. He leaves. The jet takes off. I go back to my office, I pull out my phone, and it's blowing the fuck up. Blowing up, bro. Within 3 to 4 days, we got almost 100,000 followers because of him.
That fucking math.
We had maybe
crazy.
10,000 followers at the time when we started.
Oh my gosh.
He had
Forget it,
100,000
dude.
followers. It fucking blew up. Clients left and right. Became really, really connected with him and stayed in touch with him for a while. And he really helped us out in the beginning when we first needed it. So it was a really cool experience. And that sparked the light bulb in my head. Say, hey, there's something here with this Instagram thing.
Right.
And that's constantly what I've been focusing on. And right now we have almost a little bit over 500,000 followers. Recently we just breached 500,000. That was pretty cool. But bro, it's very, very easy to generate clients now on social media. And that's the reason why. That's where we started.
You know what's crazy? There's so many businesses out there today that still don't understand
They don't believe in it. Yeah.
that it's important.
Yep.
Like my wife does social media management for small businesses, helps grow their brands and stuff like that and give them a presence online. And just like the amount of money that they're not willing to spend to have a social media presence.
Yep.
It's like, this is like half of an employee to have full social media presence, and you don't see the worth in
Yeah.
it.
If you're not on social media these days, you're not in business. Bottom line.
And then they want to know like, what's the, what's our revenue return on this? It's
Yeah,
like,
the
that's
ROI.
not how it works. You're not gonna,
No.
you're not gonna be able to like,
The time
Exercise
horizon,
it,
too.
get creative
Yeah.
with it. Definitely. Yeah.
I feel like people are just impatient, and we live in such an instant gratification world where they want to see results within a matter of literal days, weeks, whatever it is. But in terms of building a social media, especially if you're building from scratch organically, it takes a extreme amount of time.
Yep.
Like even us, we've been doing this now. I mean, relatively, if you compare it to, I guess, the grand scheme of things, we haven't been doing it that long. Like I think we're going on maybe like 9 months now, 8 months at it. And we got into a point where we started with 0, and now I think we just crossed over 22K. And like even just that growth has taken literally day after day, week after week, going to film editing, positioning, stuff like that. People want to see crazy returns. That's from 0 to 22. People want to be at 250K that fast.
Yeah,
without,
it takes time, bro. It takes
put
time.
a quarter of the work in type shit.
But then it gets to a point where you get to that level and then it just skyrockets, bro.
Yeah.
But
It
you got to get
compounds
there
at that
first,
point.
unfortunately.
Very much so.
Yeah.
See, the other thing is too, is a lot of people will talk about the fact that like you have that star power, like Dan being able to just post you, but to be able to think on the spot and be like, don't pay me.
Yeah, I was
would
creative
prefer.
there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You capitalize on the opportunity, and it goes back to just anybody in business and operating. You have to be able to see the opportunity right in front of you, and you can't let that thing pass you by.
Yeah.
And you have to be creative and adapt and think in the spot. Be like, I'm going to take this opportunity.
And now it just naturally happens to people. I don't ask, I don't tell.
100%.
People just do it constantly. But I'm like, you know what? I appreciate that. Really, really cool. But that concept of even thinking about it before it was a thing, now it's a thing. Now everybody does this.
Everybody.
It's
It's
before
actually
it was
regular. It's weird almost if you don't do it. Type say
right.
It's very weird if you don't do it. Like it's
now it costs a lot more money to get someone to
Yes.
hook you up with stuff.
Yeah. It's insane. But I met a lot of really cool people in this business, bro, for a while. And it's not just the celebrities that are cool. I met a lot of really cool individuals. I met very wealthy people in this world.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. There's some that I could share, some I cannot. That was really cool. For example, like last year we did a music video with Drake. That was pretty cool.
Awesome.
He specifically wanted a Enzo, right? So I had to call a couple of friends that I knew had Enzos. Lucky I knew 2 people had Enzos, and I begged both of them to make this deal happen. And one of them said yes, so we made it happen. So we outsourced the Enzo to it because it's not a normal car that we'll rent out.
Right.
Yeah,
not
of
at all.
course.
But we got the owner of the vehicle. We went to do the music video, did the whole thing. It was so quick, in and out. Just was there for an hour. It was amazing. So we delivered the car, staged it. He did his little thing. Done. Cool. Thank you guys. Peace out. See you next time. It was awesome. It's really cool. So I meet a lot of cool people, man. And then I have contracts with a lot of guys that come here constantly. For example, like LeBron James and his whole team. They constantly come here 2 or 3 times a year, and every time they come here, we deliver cars to them all the time. And they're more private, so they don't want to be seen, and that's cool. Respect that. So, but there's a lot of really cool people that we met all the time. Even like, for example, you guys.
Very much so. I'm telling you, like I already touched on the story. Speaking of clients, let's talk about not even like celebrity clients. What are would you prefer some of the better clients, and what are some of the traits in some of like your more headache clients? Because like you even touched on, you have the different dynamics of managing this business. It's obviously a very high stress business, but mainly is because it's a client-based business.
Yeah.
Most client-based businesses, no matter how you look at it, are always high stress level businesses.
Bottom line, I'm in the hospitality business technically, right? So I'm providing you an experience, a service, right? I'm giving you a car. I gotta hope this car is operating correctly. Some of these things are very fragile. You know, especially the new one. This is 90s. I'm a little terrified of this car. It's like 90% computer.
Yeah,
you know,
literally.
with four tires. You know, so that's exactly what it is. So I got to make sure the computer's not broken,
With them,
right?
like 1,000 horsepower too.
And it's throwing 1,000 horsepower on top of it, right? And give it to a complete stranger who never drove it before. Here you go. Bring it back in one piece, please.
Tropical rain falls for 10 minutes,
Yeah,
and then they match the
Miami
gas.
traffic, everything.
Exactly.
In
Yeah. Yeah. It happens all the time. You know, I had some crazy stories. Like speaking of tropical weather, for example, I bought a brand new Ferrari California special handling. It's a very unique vehicle. They only made like I think 200 or 300 in the world, if I'm not mistaken. And brand new car, just had it. But I think this is my third client that I rented this specific car to. So I gave him the car, rented it. It was an older guy with his wife. Went out to dinner, and he calls me at 10 o'clock at night and says, "Hey, your Ferrari's not working." The fuck you mean my
left the
Ferrari's
top
not
down,
working? What the hell did you do?
Right.
I mean, what happened? He goes, "I don't know, it's not working. Come pick it up." I'm like, what the hell does that mean? I'm like, where are you? So he told me he was not too far away. I ended up scrambling last minute to go meet up with him, and I went to go to his location. And when I get there, bro, the car's sitting in the parking lot with full of water, and it looked like it rained for like a month, but it just rained for 10 minutes. But that's Florida. That's what happens sometimes. So the car's sitting in the parking lot full of water. It looks like it's in a lake, and there's like 2 feet of water. He tried to turn the car on, sucked water through the mufflers, blew a piston, blew the engine. Brand new car. So
Sounds like a good time.
yeah, and I'm over here fucking pissed off, stressed out, whatever. It is what it is. I got to deal with it now. So I put the client in an Uber, sent him to the hotel. And I wait for the tow truck. Tow truck takes to the Ferrari dealership. The next day they call me, tell me, yeah, bro, the engine's blown. I got to replace the engine. So go through the insurance process and replace it. 2-3 months later, I get the car back. The car's all good, no issues.
Car got
I
a
also-
replaced motor, huh?
Sorry?
Car didn't total out, got a replaced motor?
Yeah, that was a very special car. It was like a $400,000
Got it,
MSRP.
got it.
So the engine was like 70 grand. So
would say, yeah.
it's cheaper to replace the engine
Didn't hit the
repair in that
threshold
case.
there.
Yeah, it depends. It's like 50% more value of the car, then they'll total it.
Depending on the insurance company.
Yeah, and it was a brand new car. I personally wanted to keep it. It was hard to get that specific
Right.
car.
Rare spec,
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it was also a really cool spec, high window. It's crazy, bro. So we got the car back, and I also got the engine. And I'm always a big believer. I'm very creative, right?
This is a good one. This is a good one.
Yeah. I got the engine, and I got the engine. I put it in my storage unit. I'm like, yeah, one day I'll sell it for parts. So I start calling around some people if they want it. I can sell it, dump it for 20, 30 grand just for parts or something. Didn't really have anybody, and I didn't really focus on trying to sell it. So I just left it in my storage unit. After a year goes by, I met a really cool guy on Instagram. Go back to social media, our Instagram. I met an older gentleman his name is Tom Bates, and he helped me design. He designs like really cool tables and stuff like that, right? So I reached out to him, said, "Yo, I have a Ferrari engine. Can you do something with it?" He goes, "Yeah, no problem. We can make a cool table, this and that." So I met up with the guy, show him the engine. The engine's not pretty, bro. It's ugly. It's oily. There's wires. It's bulky. It's fucking heavy. It's like it's
Got a
like
blown
dust.
piston.
Yeah. The whole thing is a mess. So he ended up taking it, and he goes, "Don't worry, trust me, I got this." So I'm like really nervous. Like, what are you guys doing with the engine? Or can I be involved? And
Right.
Let's pick his brain.
Yeah, that's 20, 30 bands. Like, let's keep me on the loop. Keep me on the loop.
Yeah. And after like 2-3 months of him working on it, he sends me pictures as he constantly updates on it, and the thing looks clean. It's polished, and there's twin turbos on it, so they're really shiny now. He put 4 legs on the actual table, made a really cool coffee table out of it, put a glass on top of it, and I have the sickest fucking Ferrari coffee table that you can ever
This thing
imagine.
is unreal, guys. Unreal.
It's ridiculous. Show it to you in a minute.
Yeah,
but
that's awesome.
It is really, really cool. So I always turn, lemons into lemonade. When a situation happens, you got to figure it out. Same thing when accidents happen, you got to figure it out and make the best out of it. And
It's all about
continue
mindset.
trucking.
Like you were talking about energy and stuff like that. It's like you can look at everything, in my opinion, everything is mentality and perspective.
Yep.
You can look at things from a negative perspective. You're going to sit there in that negative moment and you're never going to grow out of it. Or you got to find the way to pick the positive out of it and just keep on pushing past shit.
Yeah.
You probably have one of the craziest art collections I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Like this backdrop you guys are looking at here. You want to break down some of these pieces look at these 4 hoods that we have back here.
Yeah.
Break some of these down for us.
There's a lot of really cool, unique parts, art around here. Look, for 14 years of doing this, I met a lot of really cool artists, right? And in Miami, very big is Art Basel.
Our Basel,
So
baby.
when Art Basel comes around, I shine, right? I love it.
You're in your element.
Yeah, I love it. I met a lot of really cool people. I'm into the young pop art and really cool stuff. I met Wisby, for example, that big green bear behind me. So I became really friendly with him as well. He's been blowing up lately, especially lately, and I'm a big fan of his art. This is just one cool piece that he makes, but he has so many cool different things. Also, like the hoods behind me. For example, the blue hood is a 458 Spider Ferrari hood that we have. I bought it a long time ago, and I meet a lot of celebrities. So we started collecting celebrity signatures on there. I got stupid amount of names on this thing, bro. It's insane. Shaquille O'Neal, Floyd Mayweather, Dan Bazarian
Dan
signed
B's on
it.
there.
Yeah, so many cool people. Marshmallow, a lot of really cool people, man. Dan Wade came here one time. He signed it as well. So I mean, a lot of cool people and just collect a bunch of signatures. I wish I had this idea of the signatures, the hood, years before, because I would have had like 3 hoods filled by now. So yeah, it's insane. And then the yellow McLaren hood behind me with the bullets. There's a little deep story behind it because
hear it.
I love exotic cars, but McLarens, they give me the biggest headache. They constantly have an issue. If you sneeze inside the car, the check engine will turn on.
Literally.
There's always something going on with that specific car. So what I've had before is a client rented. We had our yellow 650S Spider, right? And the client rented the car, had a little fender bender because you can see on the bottom right hand corner there's a little dent on the car on the hood. So he had a little fender bender. That's all good. Insurance picked up the bill and fixed the car. So I went to the body shop to pick up the car, and I saw the hood sticking out of the dumpster. And the second I saw that, I'm like, hey, can I take this home? Like, yeah, we're about to throw it away, so we might as well. We got a brand new hood in your car anyways.
Right.
So they fixed the car. I took the dented hood, put it in the garage for a while, didn't know what to do with it. And then one day I got a new gun. I said, fuck this. I hate McLaren so much. I'm taking the hood. Let's go shoot this bitch up.
Buying this thing. I'm buying this thing.
So that's what I did. I let it lit up, and I'm the artist. And I call it the drive-by.
Yeah.
So it became a really cool piece. And unfortunately, it happened to my 600 LT. And that's the blue hood right next to it. So I'm going to have to take that to the gun range very soon to make it just like the yellow one.
The same type of art right there.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, honestly, that's pretty sick art.
Cool, right?
Let me ask you this. Where did your love for all this? Because in my opinion, again, I think you and I have very similar taste when it comes to all this. I've seen all the stuff you guys have been able to curate, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I want to build a man cave similar to this.
Yep.
Where did this all come from? The taste of art.
The same passion with the automotive, because if you realize a majority of the art around here has to do with the automotive theme.
It's beautifully curated. I'm telling
Yes,
you, it's the touches.
everything-
Everything correlates perfectly.
Yep. Everything around here is literally with the brands, with the Lamborghini brand, the Ferrari brand, and that's what I like to have around here. And I'm still acquiring more. I have a lot of really cool pieces coming in very soon, and I'd love to show you. Like for example, one of the cool pieces I have is the F1 car. So we purchased a exact replica of Lewis Hamilton's championship car for 2019. I originally bought it because I wanted to hang it on the wall. I wanted to just display on the wall as a cool piece of art when you first walk in here and you're like, yo, there's a fucking F1 on the walls and Lamborghini here. It's really cool, right? Mm-hmm. But the second I got it, go back to our social media power, I posted a couple pictures and videos on our Instagram, and so many big people reached out to me to try to rent it. And I'm like, I didn't even think about it.
Right.
You know what? Fuck it. You're right. I own an exotic car. It's a company.
Yeah,
this is an exotic car. Let's rent it. So I didn't really hang it on the wall yet because we are renting it constantly, especially now since F1 is in Miami. Next week, we have F1 here in Miami, right? So we are renting it often. And so much that I said, I still want to go back to my original idea, was to hang on the wall. I ordered another one. It will be here soon. And once it does, I am going to hang one of them on the wall.
Do people rent it just show and display? Or
Yes. There's no engine in it, so it can be driven, right? So yes, it's for display purposes, for events and stuff like that. Last year, Phantom Blue Hotel rented it to leave it in the lobby as a cool piece of art, right? They had it there for the whole week while F1 is happening.
Yeah.
So it was a really cool concept. Right. The whole hotel was like transformed with F1 vibes. So that's one of the cars they rented. It was a really cool concept, and it worked out really well.
Especially with F1 here. Is it rented out next week somewhere?
Yeah. Yep.
Of course. Yeah, that's easy money.
Yeah.
No, you've done such a fantastic job of just meeting market demand, especially here. Like, there's no, in my opinion, this is the capital for this. Right? Exotic car rental, Miami, there's no bigger place to be able to do this. But not only that, expanding past that to be able to meet demands of like even having the idea of having that as now you can have giant corporations, like you said, Fountain Blue, renting it and stuff like that. You've done a fantastic job of meeting market needs across all sectors. Do you have anything new in the works right now? Anything expansion?
Definitely, yes. I'm working on expanding the company to multiple states, right? Looking at Chicago, looking at Vegas, looking at Los Angeles. There's a couple of other cities that I'm dabbling into, and there's beginning stages right now. But that's my goal. I would love to have at least 10 locations across America.
Yeah.
It'll make sense because right now we do ship cars to other people across America, but for long-term rentals.
Yeah.
Like, let's say you want to rent this SF90, for example, and you're in Chicago, I'll ask for a minimum of 30 days, and we'll ship the car to you.
Right.
But if I open up a location there, you can rent it for one day. Right.
Exactly.
So that's
You
the
have more
concept.
leverage.
We're starting like that, and eventually it will get to a physical location.
Well, if you need some friends in LA to help publicize stuff like that, you got the two of us right here too.
I'm definitely going to reach out when we're ready, bro.
Very
For
much
sure.
so. Very much so.
It seems like there's so many people that are trying to get into exotic rentals today. It's like it's one of those. It's trending. It's trending up. A lot of these guys, they buy an Aston Martin Vantage, they buy a They buy maybe a Huracan,
C8
Yeah.
Corvette,
and then all of a sudden they're selling a course on how you can rent cars.
Oh, yeah,
with
it's so
their
cute.
with their two car with their two car fleet. But
Yeah, bro.
why do
Every
you
year, every
Yeah.
year, I see 2-3 companies pop up, and the next year, 2-3 companies disappear.
Yeah.
Every single year. It is a full-time business. It is not a simple thing. It is something that you need to be hands-on with and have experience with it. I've learned the hard way, bro. A lot of mistakes I made cost me a lot of money, and luckily I was able to afford them, because if I didn't, I would have been out.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, these punches that come across the plates are pretty strong, bro.
Why do you think it's so popular right now?
Why not? Look at it. It's fucking awesome, right?
Yeah.
You get a car. It's a free car. You make money with it. You get to enjoy it. And I make it look very easy.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest reason why. On social media, everybody tells me, I look up to you. I'm so, I'm happy to do this. I want to do the same thing you do. I bought my first car. I'm like, great. That's not the reason why I opened it up, to create more competition.
Right.
But it comes with a territory, right?
Right, it has
Yeah.
to. Very
I mean,
much.
everyone we talk to that does this is like, this is such a difficult business.
Yes.
hell. They literally say it's hell.
Yeah. These are very fragile things that you're not supposed to be driving every single day, right?
Right.
Yeah. You don't. When you have these type of cars, you don't put 20,000 miles on them a year. We do, right?
Yeah, very
much so.
Personal, it take you almost 10 years to put 20,000 miles. Not even then, you still would not put 20,000 miles on an SF90, right?
The normal person, the average person.
Yeah, yeah. We would in a year,
Right.
right? So these things are constantly fragile. Tires, service, these things are expensive, and maintenance, and you have to do them before it's too late. Otherwise, it's more expensive. It's just
Yep.
constantly. We learned to listen to the car a lot, and we examine these cars constantly every single day. I have a whole team who literally services these cars daily. It's insane.
I feel like you've positioned yourself well to, like, you've got a very high end appeal where, you go on, you try to rent a Huracan, there's going to be a few different places.
Yep.
And, there's going to be different price points, this, that, and the other. One, you might just be picking up outside someone's house. It
Yep.
might be beat to hell.
Low security deposit. the
Low
whole nine.
security deposit, dings.
I always go for quality over quantity, right?
Right.
I'm going to definitely promise you a brand new car, very low miles, does not smell like cigarettes or weed. The rims are not scratched up, and you get customer service with us, right?
Yeah.
We'll deliver the car. If the car has an issue, you call us. We're going to come switch cars with you as soon as possible. You have the blue Huracan and they got a flat tire, and it's your fault you got a flat tire? Don't worry about it. Here's an F8. Take this for now. We'll switch cars. We constantly do that, and that you cannot get anywhere else.
But because you do that, you're able to target a higher end clientele that probably ends up leading to less headaches.
Yes. They were
in the
paid just
long
a little
run.
bit more and have zero headaches. But at the end of the day, we're very competitive with our prices as well.
Yeah.
Is there any way for somebody, let's say let's say I'm traveling back and forth to Miami. Let's say I'm someone that comes here maybe 10 times a year.
Yeah.
But I know every time I come here, I want to drive a car and I want to have some type of structure where I can come in and out freely and maybe rent a car this weekend, go out the next weekend. Do you guys have
Yep.
anything in place like that?
Definitely. So that happened a lot, right? And I've come up with a concept where we call our memberships. So we have a membership concept. First of all, you have to rent the car a couple times from us to even be applied. So we'll pretty much say, hey, you rent this many times, you've passed the test technically, right? And we'll let you buy a membership technically, right? It's not for everybody. These memberships are for your high-end individuals, right? So let's say you live in Miami and you have a Range Rover as your daily car, right? But you want to have these fun toys every once in a while. So we created a concept where you can have your daily car and still have access to it, or however you prefer. The membership is $100,000. Sorry, I said it wrong. The membership is a $75,000 fee for 100 days. Okay. So it's technically $750 a day.
Okay.
Right? If you break it down. So would you rather pay $3,000 for the Venador behind you or $750? It's a lot more affordable. Yes, you do have to cough up $75,000 up front, but you get access to 100 days that never expire. It could take you 100 days in a row to eat them up, or it could take you 5 years to finish 100 days. Never expire technically. And you constantly have access to all the cars in the fleet. We constantly switch our cars. We constantly have new vehicles. We've been doing this for 14 years. And it just makes more sense, right? So the reason why I built 100 days is because there's literally 52 weekends a year. So almost 100 days. So technically, you can literally have an exotic car delivered to your front door every Friday. A different one for the weekend, every single weekend for the whole year. That's a concept, but everybody uses it differently. I have some guys, for example, I have this football player who is a member. He has a G-Wagon as his daily. He loves it, and he travels half the time of the year. So when he's in town, he takes a fun toy, and he travels the other year. So it just makes sense. If it matches your lifestyle and it makes sense for you, obviously this is something that we focus a lot. We have over 40 members in our fleet currently.
Amazing.
And yeah, it's been growing, so it's really good.
Is that where you think a lot of the business is going to move to, a different type of structure like that? Or is that somewhere you're trying to focus on right now? Or you want to let that grow organically as clients come in and out?
Yeah, it's organically. It's not something that it's like 30% of our revenue technically right now, but it's not ideally. Ideally is retail, right? Retail clients pay full retail for the cars, for the daily rental. That's more profitable. The membership is just offset the expenses. So I was looking at also raising our occupancy, right? We have 30 days a month. 15 days a month I'd like to do wholesale, and 15 days a month I'd like to do retail. So just raise the occupancy per car.
Yeah.
That's the reason why it was kind of invented.
What do you drive?
You're going to like this answer.
So I drive a different car probably every couple hours. I constantly switch the cars out. I'm a very productive human being. If you get to know me, like even this morning, I was doing so many other things that we meet up now, and I have so many things lined up later today. But I'm a very productive person. So that being said, every time I drive a car, there's a purpose and a reason why I'm driving it. Either we just put fresh new tires on the car, so I want to make sure the alignment is on point, or some client complained that the speaker's blowing in the back, so I'm going to drive it, play with the music, and see if it's which speaker it is and how to fix it. I'm very, very productive. I'm very weird if I'm just sitting down not doing nothing. I feel weird.
So like useless. You're like,
yeah, useless. Something's wrong. What the hell am I doing with my life? Yeah, I got to do something. So I'm constantly, I'm the type of guy that I could text you a paragraph, but have a conversation with you over here while I'm talking to somebody else. I have to. My mind is like that. It's a curse and a blessing at the same time.
A hell of a curse and a blessing at the same
So
time.
you're just driving whatever, you're driving the problem child at any moment, basically?
Yes. I'm constantly, because I have to. I enjoy
Do you have
it.
like a backup daily that's just like what you keep, or?
No, I love the G-Wagons. I
Yeah.
have so many of them. I love them. They're my favorite cars. Like as a regular daily, if there's nothing to check out, nothing going on, which is rare, but when there's nothing to do and I get to pick a car, my go-to is a G-Wagon.
What if you're picking a car in this weird scenario, nothing's rented for some reason, and you're picking a car, just nothing's
the heck
wrong
of it?
with any of the cars. You're just like, you know what, I want to go have some fun today.
Yeah.
And you're picking anything from your own fleet. What are you taking?
If it's today, one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, either F8 or the SF90.
I love it.
Ferrari. Is Ferrari between like Ferrari, Lambo, McLaren, Ferrari's your top dog?
Today, the older I got, the more I realized Ferrari is the brand. Yeah, when I was younger, I loved Lamborghinis. It started with the Diablo, right? I love Lamborghinis. I was constantly attached to Lamborghinis. They're insane. The doors go up. It's crazy. Oh, Lamborghini. But then I got older and realized Lamborghinis, the Ferraris make such a better product, my opinion. And I know there's a battle at it. Everybody has different choices. I'm sure you're probably a McLaren guy, right?
So finish what you said before I even dive into mine, because I started off. So I have right now currently I have 3 cars.
Okay.
I have a 458, I have the new Z06, and then I have a 720.
Okay.
The 458 was what brought me into the realm, and I was obsessed on a whole level. That car, again, and you back this up.
Great car, star Ferrari brand.
It is unreal, perfect first car, especially for like the supercar level. Then I got to a point where I was like starting to drive everything else. I got the opportunity to drive a 720, and the 720 made everything else feel like it was nothing.
Yeah.
So now getting into 720, and again, so far, knock on wood here, so far, my McLaren ownership experience has been nothing but good.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. Because trust me, I know something's coming. But as right now, I'm a McLaren guy solely because of the fact that I haven't driven a car that handles it the way it does, speed and everything in between, and the visibility, just the car itself. 720, I think I'm a little bit spoiled because I haven't even driven a 570 or none of the other models, so I don't know to compare it to.
Okay.
This is the McLaren I know.
Yeah.
So compared to other models, and the Ferrari, again, my Ferrari is a 2010, so it's a little bit. It's the first production year 458, but I know Ferrari is top tier brand.
Yeah.
I also like Lamborghini, but right now McLaren for me, because of where I'm getting into it at.
Yeah.
It's a top for me.
Fair enough.
They all have their pros
As you
and
can
cons.
see.
Well, why is Ferrari? Why do you feel like they make the best product?
I personally like the brand, love the resale purpose of it. I've never lost money with a Ferrari. That's also one of the biggest things. The cult, the club that you're into, it's a little different. If you learn how to exercise the club properly, you won't get burned. With Lamborghini, you can buy a car, drive off the lot, it depreciates, you lose 20% the second, drive off the lot. Done.
McLaren,
Get the
same
money.
thing,
That's annoying. That kind of doesn't sit well with me, right?
Don't even talk about McLaren for depreciation.
McLaren, trust me.
That's why it's not even in the question. We're talking about the top two, right?
Even mentioning it.
I'm already touched now.
And Ferraris to me, I've had better experiences with them. They're really good cars, and it also attracts the right clientele. Lamborghini is the young hot stud guy who wants to just go rip it up and down the street. Ferrari guy's an older guy who wants to take his wife out to dinner.
Yeah.
Those are the type of clients we want.
Yeah.
Yes, very
Man,
much
people
so.
have really ruined the Huracan. It makes me sad.
Yeah.
So I've always been a Lambo.
Also,
Lambo
like the
bro.
amount, I don't know the exact amount, but like the amount of Ferrari, like F8s, for example, right? I'm comparing the F8s to a Huracan, which I shouldn't, but let's say they're on the same level, right? The amount of Huracans they made and the amount of Ferrari F8s they made, you can't even compare. It's like 10,000 to 1,000. And like, you can't.
Yeah.
But it takes a long time to get in, like you're saying, the Ferrari club. It takes a lot to get to that point.
Yeah.
where you can able to do this.
Yeah.
How would you able to build such a good relationship with Ferrari?
That engine table that blew up was my first Ferrari. That was a California T Special. So it's an entry-level Ferrari. All right, we got in, ordered the car, got it, and then that shit happened. But it's all another story. But that was my first Ferrari, and that was a beautiful car. And I fell in love with the Ferrari brand right there. And I said, all right, there's something better here.
Yeah.
And even with that engine being replaced, I was able to sell the car a year later for almost the same price that I bought it for. So I was like, wow, this is crazy. I barely lost any money in depreciation. I was like a $5,000 difference we're talking about here.
Right.
So like, this is crazy. Ferrari does this amazing. There's only a couple cars that do this, right? G-Wagons do this. Ferraris do this. And then if you're lucky enough to get a hot car new, like when the Urus first came out, it does that. And same with well, I'm going back to Ferrari per Songway. All Ferraris will do this.
What about 911s?
Porsches are really good. They don't depreciate as much. That is correct.
Yeah.
they are
Porsche,
very good.
that's the ultimate cult right there. There's
Yeah.
nothing that compares to that cult following and stuff like
We
that.
don't need to
have
go
a
down the Porsche
beautiful touring that we just got recently, and this is a very special car because this is the first time we've ever added a manual car to the fleet. It's a stick shift.
Yeah.
And I've
That's
never
the
had.
six-speed?
Yeah, I never had stick shifts before in our life and in our business because it doesn't make sense, you know.
Right.
But there's a big demand for it lately, and a lot of clients are requesting it. So I'm making a note every time somebody requests. All right, I always listen to my clients. Whatever they tell me, whatever they complain about, or even happy, I listen to them. And a lot of people has been requesting specifically a manual car. So eventually we got one, and the first one they did very well. So we're keeping it.
Do we
feel like
rent out the GTR?
We do.
That's
Yeah.
that's got to be manual, isn't it?
Yes. So what we do is with these two specific cars, the Super and the GTR, they are both for production purposes, right? We rent them out for movies, commercials, music videos. A lot of people rent them out for photo shoots, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I feel you guys are at a point now too, like again, if you're just starting out, something like this wouldn't benefit you in terms, but now you've gotten to a point now where you can expand into something
Oh, yeah.
manual because
Yeah.
again, how many clients are going to come in and take this on a weekend?
Yeah, the guys that take this specific car, they have one back at home. They have a GT3 or something at home that they, I want to drive this here.
The cult.
Yeah.
Very much so.
What rents out the most? G-Wagons?
The Huracan Evo Spiders, we have almost 15 of them in our fleet, and they
Ooh,
are number
15.
one. Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
me.
15
And how many do you
Huracan
see in the
Evo
showroom
Spiders.
today?
0.
Thank you. Yeah. I wish I had 15 more, to be honest.
15 Huracan Evo Spiders.
What is one of the hardest cars to get rented?
The hardest cars to rent right now? Nothing, because we won't have it if it doesn't move. We'll get rid of it. Honestly, bro, I don't fuck with Aston Martins. Nobody requests them. Nobody wants them. Maseratis, those two cars, never really mess with them too much.
Yeah.
And no one requests them. Those are the hardest cars to rent, technically.
How about the Audi R8?
When I first started the business, I got one. They were cool. They were hot shit back then.
Right.
Today they're not.
Or not?
Yeah.
So there's no desire to rent them whatsoever?
I feel like
for like
that's
$200 more, you get a Huracan, bro.
yeah,
true. Yeah,
that's
very much
that's
so.
you're going for the lower, the kind of the lower
Yeah,
clientele.
the lower hanging fruit type shit. With that.
Yes.
Personally, it's a great car.
Yeah.
Especially in the new R8s. They're designed very well. They look amazing. They're really comfortable. More comfortable than a Huracan. But it's an Audi at the end of the day. Almost
Yeah.
the same price as a Huracan.
Yeah,
So it
it's
doesn't make
different.
sense.
Very much.
especially someone coming into Miami and wants to drive something exotic.
Yes. And that's not really an exotic car, right? It's an Audi, right?
Yes.
That's the problem.
We have this whole battle argument time, like, is it a supercar? How would you categorize it? What is it categorized?
I mean, it's still a V10.
I would still
aspirated.
say it's an exotic car. Not a supercar, but it's exotic, right? That's what I was listed at.
What is a supercar? What categorizes a car as a supercar?
To me, supercar, so it's like the speed, the performance, and the price of the car. I'm borderline saying the SF90 is a supercar. Think about it. 1,000 horsepower, the fastest Ferrari ever produced in the world. Almost $1 million car. That's considered a supercar.
Oh,
in my
100%.
books.
Yeah.
Easily. No, you can. I think that's an easy choice.
Yeah, right? Let's
Yeah.
say it's better than it's faster than a LaFerrari. That's insane. LaFerrari's a
Very much so.
$5 million car.
Very much so. I would love the opportunity to drive one of these damn things. I want to see what it feels like.
Right? This one specifically is really cool.
This thing is unreal because you get what I've heard is just the combination of the way that it puts power down because the hybrid motors and everything in between. That these cars are just what's crazy to me is the fact that, like, especially you renting them.
Yep.
I've always had this concept when you get a car that's built this heavy, this crazy. The fact that you can just give the keys to the everyday person without any structure of driving, learning how to drive, trusting the fact that they drive. Do you guys do any prep work where you're like, hey,
course.
just know that this is a little bit different type shit. You
Look,
put that right foot
90%
down.
of our clients have a McLaren back at home, so they know how to drive, right?
Perfect.
So just like yourself, we make sure that you're qualified, your insurance is up to date, and we show you how to drive the car. Hey, if you take something new, like you have a McLaren, but you never drove a Rolls Royce, no problem. We'll just show you real quick how to drive it, and it's a very simple process. It will fill you out. It's a process to rent a car. If you're really not comfortable, you start shaking, you're nervous, calm down. We'll take you around the block. Let me show you how to. This is just a regular car, man. It's just a
car.
metal, right? But we'll make sure you're comfortable with it. It's extremely rare that somebody will walk in here and not take the car that they want because, like, I don't want it. Usually, people are prepared.
Yeah.
What's some of the craziest experiences you've had with clients taking the car out that are not prepared to drive the vehicle? Have you ever had anything extreme like that?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of like name dropping, but this guy, bro, I burned bridges with him. He burned bridges with me technically. I blacklisted him from renting a car from us ever again. As a rapper, Trippy Red or some shit, I don't know what his name, but that guy, fucking loser, man. I'm not a fan of him at all, bro. He rented our brand new 720S. It was a black on black brand new 720S that we just got. And he had the car for a week, then he extended for another week. So he had the car for 2 weeks, right? Within a 2-week period, he didn't wash the car one time. He used the cup holder as an ashtray. And the cup holder had this much ashes and blunts in the car, right? He also stood on top of the hood, and the hood is glass. Yeah. So everything cracked. Everything shattered. And then I tried to open up the hood when I first got there, and somehow I realized that, okay, he stood on the hood as well. So he dented the hood into the bumper and couldn't open it. So he damaged the car. It was almost about $50,000 in damages. Just the two glasses were like 12 grand.
No,
each.
yeah, those Gorilla glasses are not cheap. Gorilla glasses not cheap.
And that was him. And when I got the car, bro, you would have been disgusted to look at the car and touch the car, or even drive the car and get it out of his house to get it cleaned up. And when we brought it back, we started detailing, cleaning it. I'm like, I can't fix this car. It's not fixable because the amount of cigarettes and weed and smoke in the heat in the car, he ruined the car. So I detailed it, wholesaled it, lost my ass off on the car, and sold it. Luckily, he has the right people in his business, in his industry, and his attorneys immediately popped up and paid the bill and fixed the problem. So I will give him that he paid his bill. But what a piece of shit human being, bro. I'm sorry.
Right.
Who the hell does that?
It happens. People, trust me, I've gotten to a point now where like even giving people the benefit of the doubt, you try your best to, especially when you're in business and stuff like that. But I've seen the craziest scale of people. So to even think, especially somebody that gets power or gets money to a certain degree, they immediately think that they're invincible. They're like, oh, I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Fuck this person's business. Fuck everything that he's done to work on his car.
Disrespect the car like that bad, bro? What the hell, man?
Trust me, and that beautiful masterpiece of a 720, that's what hits me in the car. Yeah. I could not imagine seeing a fucking.
And then you get those little guys who rent the car and scratch the rim and take a Sharpie and try to put in the rim and say, oh, yeah. And the car comes back, we're like, bro, you really put a Sharpie on this? What are you doing, man? You're still paying for the rim.
You thought you could hide that?
We're very good at and catching these things.
Yeah. What's the craziest thing a client has tried to hide from you guys? Have you ever had something insane?
Yeah. A Sharpie, a bumper, a rim, those things happen all the time.
Have you ever had somebody work on the car?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and we have GPSs on these cars, right? So we see them when they go places.
At a body shop all of a sudden.
And we saw one in a body shop for a day, and then the guy extended another day, 6 days in a row. I'm like, the car's in the shop for 6 days in a row. I personally went there on the third day to see what the fuck's going on. And obviously the bumper was ripped off. The guy tried to repair it. I immediately called him and stopped the whole situation. But that was something that I'm like, what are you you're paying more renting the car? Just tell me the truth. We'll fix it and it'll be cheaper for you, bro. So I ended up doing that. But yeah, I pulled the car on there. I mean,
I feel like most people just get so scared because again, I think one of the biggest things in like, especially in this industry, a lot of the unknown aspect is like dealing with the damaged part of the vehicle.
Yeah,
you get insurance involved. Number one thing in the heart, one of the most difficult things in the world is dealing with the insurance company. Most people who do not know how to do such a thing, they freak out. Especially you get like an everyday renter that has to extend his policy, raise his liability limits or whatever, and he damages the car. He starts freaking out. He's like, let me try to hustle and try to do something quick, easy, and it'd be a lot more simple. You just came clean. Let me deal with the insurance. You have the coverage.
What happens all the time? Clients come back with damages and they immediately start freaking out. They're scared. They don't know what's going on. I immediately de-escalate the situation. Don't worry. Are you okay? Nobody got hurt. It's a piece of metal. This is why you have insurance for. Let me handle this. Let me show you how to do this. It's very easy. And they end up thanking me at the end. Thank you. I was so scared. I thought this would be expensive. You made me feel so comfortable. You're not mad. I'm like, why would I get mad? It's a piece of metal, bro. Who cares? Yeah. It's another piece of a car. No big deal.
It's a business. It's part of it.
Exactly. So I de-escalate the situation very quickly, and everybody at the end, once the insurance pays and fixes everything, they're like, you know what? You're a man. You handle it very well. I'd love to come rent again. Of course, you can come back rent anytime, man. It happens, bro. Accidents are happening. Obviously, don't do it on purpose, like that guy.
Yeah.
And then you won't be able to come back.
Literally, yeah.
Or don't get in a wreck and then ditch the car on the side of the highway.
Yeah.
That happened once. Shouldn't do. I'm sure it has.
Yeah. We had to go get our car from the middle of I-95. It was like just abandoned. I got into an accident and left the car abandoned in the middle of I-95. Like, what the fuck, bro? Yeah, just disappeared, ran away. And my theory is still, I haven't not seen the guy or met the guy or spoke to him, but went through his insurance paid for the whole damages. But my theory was he was drunk.
Oh,
didn't want to get caught. Abandoned the car and left.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That's more than a theory. That's got to be foolproof. We can stamp that shit.
Most 99% of that scenario. Someone gets in a wreck and ditches their car.
Yeah. One of the reasons why I love my members is I give them a car, they wash it, and then give it back to me when they're done with it. I'm like, they're amazing.
Level of respect. They're like, hey,
yes,
then you kind of become, you build a relationship with them, you kind of become friends. So it's like, there's a new level of like, hey, I'm going to respect this property. This is like a relationship.
For those type of
we
people,
have.
I've been over backwards.
Right. I'm not just coming in for the weekend, taking a car, and I'll never see you again. It's like, this is like, I respect you, you respect me, we make things happen.
Yeah.
Because again, it's kind of similar to like when you put it in theory, like again, not saying this is the same similar concept, but in theory, like what we're trying to do, you provide a very similar service. You connect the everyday person to cars that maybe they in their lifetime. Because again, people, I feel like anybody involved in this space and has the ability to even, like, for example, we're sitting in the showroom right now with millions of dollars of inventory, right? Most people, 99.9% of people will never be able to touch this level in their entire lives. So the fact that you offer a service that allows people to connect to that thing, and who knows, like me, tap into a part of my brain to expand everything to the point where I can get to this point, it's a beautiful thing. And like you have clients that understand that mutual respect to the point where they'll wash the car, give it back to you. Because at the end of the day, you're providing a service, but it's a two-way street. Because they want to be a member, they want to continue on their lifelong journey. Who knows? You might have connections that might help you in other areas and other avenues in life, which I'm sure you've had a million connections that help you in other parts of your life. It's a two-way street at the end of the day, especially in a clientele-based business.
Yeah, lately, I'm walking around the showroom, I'm meeting clients, I'm renting cars, and just pick their brains, like, what's up, guys? What kind of car are you taking? And start talking to them. Where are you guys from? Like, Ohio. I never see these type of things. This is insane. You have 5 of them laying here, sitting here. It's like insane. And they freak out. In Ohio, you don't see this type of shit,
I'm telling you, you expand people's minds.
Yeah.
That's the most beautiful thing I think about this is just like being able to expand someone's mind to understand like this shit is achievable.
Yeah.
All this shit is doable.
Would you do this all over again?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm very happy that I found my thing in life, some people don't. Some people find it later. Some people find it earlier. I'm very happy that I found it, and I'm a true believer in that because it's my passion. I really enjoy what I do every single day. I make money doing it, and I'm very happy doing it. And I also get really positive energy from my clients. Because the reason why I keep on saying that positive energy, like when I used to own a moving company, the moving furniture and household goods, it's a stressful time. People are freaking out. Girls are always screaming and yelling at the movers, and you broke this, you scratched this. It's negative. It's always negative energy, and I hated that. For years I was doing it, and I've said I'm selling this business, and then I didn't realize that I'm getting to something so positive. And over the years, I realized that I'm like, this is where I belong. This is where I need to be.
Yeah.
What's the number one thing you would do differently if you had to start all over again?
If I had to start all over again, differently?
All over.
Oof.
Number one thing that you would do differently. If
Listen
anything
to the
at
clients
all.
faster.
Huh?
Listen to my clients faster. It took me a couple years to realize I should listen to the clients. Yeah, it took me a couple years. At first, like, you're wrong. What do you mean the air conditioner's not working? I didn't believe clients. I didn't listen to them. Now, when the client says something, I 100% tell them, all right, you tell me the truth. Let me fix this. Let me do it right.
Handle.
Yeah.
So listening to the clients. That's how I like that answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else you got?
Got everything. You want to jump into the questions?
We can.
Let's rip it.
This
is my
first of all, on top of everything you just said,
Yep.
it's just like the fact that you come to work every day and this is like a GTA garage that we're in. It's insane.
Yeah, we're in
like
Los
the
Angeles
cars,
right
the art, the way you design it, the white on the black. It's like you come like this. You just walk in every day. It's like that lineup right there with the art and everything in the walls. Like this is ridiculous. From the Fast and Furious cars to the 1016 kit. That thing's insane. And the Technica. It's like I love that lineup. It gets me fired up. As you can tell.
It's really cool, motivating. I love it. Every single day I come in here, I really pitch myself and make sure I'm still not sleeping because I'm dreaming, right? This is insane, man. This is a really cool experience. I love what we built here. A couple of years ago, I was very, I can't say the word blessed, but I was going to say, when COVID happened, Miami was the only city opening in the world. So everybody came to Miami. And our business literally doubled within a year period. It literally just doubled because of the volume of the whole world was coming to Miami. So because of that, we was able to save a lot of money and purchase this building. And I was able to take the business to the next step. And that right there helped me a lot. With this building right here, because we used to be in, you remember Opelika Executive Airport?
Yes.
We used to be there. The cars were parked outside. I had a small office there as a private airport. I was maximized. I couldn't expand the company. I had no more parking spots. It was a beautiful place. I loved it, and I miss the place. I go there all the time to deliver cars, but I miss personally being there all the time with the airplanes and shit. It was really cool. But we outgrew that place, and we found this and moved here. And this is literally the best thing ever happened to me because I bought this in the middle of the world when the world was blowing up in the middle of COVID. I bought this in the middle of it. Real estate has quadrupled by then.
Yes.
And it was a really, really smart move on my end.
You reinvested into the business. A lot of people would have seen that growth and been like, oh, I'm just putting more money in my pocket. Let me see what happens. No,
absolutely not.
Investing back.
That was my game plan since day one. You know, like the
Invest
client
back
took the
in
car
this.
for a month. I didn't take off my deal. No, I'll just put it back into business.
Right back into
Buy
business.
another car. Buy another car. Buy another car.
Let's
Keep on
go.
growing.
I feel like that's the number one mistake people make is as they're scaling their business, just getting to a point where the greed gets in a little too much and they start to pull out from the business too fast. And that's when the growth stops. And the next thing you know, your business is dead.
Yep.
So the fact that you're able to scale and realize that, and after being in business for 14 years, still understand that there's continued growth, I can only imagine what this place could do.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't wait to see the LA location.
I'm trying to buy my next door neighbors right now.
I love it. You heard it here first.
Do you ever feel like you get desensitized to some of these cars? Like, is getting behind the wheel of a Ferrari, does it still like spark something inside you, or does it take something really crazy to do that these days?
Yeah, I'm blessed to get a new car literally every week. It's been like that for the past couple of years now. So I've been trending like that. So every week I get a new car, and like this week is the SF90, for example. So every week I get a new car and I get behind the wheel and it puts that smile on my face. And I'm like, this is sick. That new leather smell, I love it. And I'm constantly been driving a new car for the past couple of years now.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
So it's all about getting to that next one.
Yeah.
What about have you driven any hypercars?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like Bugattis, Paganis?
Yeah. A good friend of mine owns a couple Paganis, so I've been driving those. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah, what's that?
It's a piece of art.
That's a whole new
break that experience.
You talk about people like giving access to like. There's not a whole lot of people out there talking about the experience of driving like a Pagani.
One of my favorite supercars right, is a Bugatti, right? So the Bugattis, the way they're hand built, the way they are made, you can feel the difference. You can hear it, and it's getting behind the wheel and just touching it, and like, wow, this thing is really done correctly. I can't even explain. It's like going shopping at Target or going shopping at Louis Vuitton. You could tell the quality of materials, right? So when I drive a Bugatti, for example, and you open up the engine a little bit and you take it on the freeway, you really feel it, man. It's a big experience. It's mind blowing.
Yeah.
Even compared to something like what would you compare it to? Like, let's say even like an SF90. Is it that much of a leap and a jump even between a car that's ridiculous like this?
Yeah,
itself?
because what is it, V6?
Yeah,
with a couple of computers, you know,
that's true.
And compared to
W16,
yeah, exactly.
the W16, like it's nothing.
So you feel it, you hear it, and I think
Quad
the
turbo.
SF90 is a little faster than the Bugatti, right? But still, I'd rather drive the Bugatti, obviously.
Yeah, it's the whole experience side of things.
Yes.
And then Pagani's, like, what is it like jumping into a Pagani?
Sensitive piece of art, but it's beautiful and clink, clink, clink loud, and everything's moving and changing. But it's a beautiful car, Mo. Just get me on the wheel. It's like picture perfect.
It's like a pretty raw experience, or
yes, very raw. I would like to have one of those and not drive it. That's the car that you want to have like as a museum piece, right?
Would you display it with the doors up? Or?
Yes, 100%. Everything open, doors up, and also the front and the back.
Yeah. So you gotta have.
I love it.
That's the one. Like,
so my boy owns one, right? And we go to his house all the time. We hang out, and we're just chewing the shit. But we always end up in the driveway, right? Because we're car guys.
Right, we were sitting there admiring
just chilling, grabbing a drink, hanging out, and we're chilling in the driveway, and we'll play with the car. Within a 2-hour period of us hanging out, talking to shit, the car opens and closes, opens and closes, opens and closes. What's this? What's that? Turn this on, turn this off. Within 2 hours, we've done it 100 times, constantly for years. It's not changed. We still do it today.
It doesn't get old.
It doesn't get old. It doesn't get old. And we debate and talk about which was faster. Constantly, bro. Constantly. I love it.
how about Koenigsegg? Any experiences there?
Very cool. Yes, I haven't drove one yet, but I've been passenger one. Koenigseggs are a very, very cool car. They've been around just as much time as a Pagani company, right? But I would lean towards the Pagani.
Yeah.
Koenigseggs are cool, but not my thing.
Yeah.
I think Pagani's are works of art. Like
Yes.
Pagani is way more art.
They are.
Pagani's way more.
But
It's
if
like a
if I
fighter
would
jet.
like pick my favorite brand, I think it's still Ferrari. LaFerrari, the Enzos,
Everything.
F40, F50. Wow, those cars, bro, they're ahead of its time.
Yeah. What color would you spec if you could get the big five? LaFerrari, Enzo, F40, F50. What
They
color
don't
would you?
exist in my specs, so only 3 out of the 5 would exist because I've already did the research. I've already been there, down this road, down this rabbit hole. So the gray F8 behind me was spec'd by me. I waited 2 years when I ordered this car. I spec'd the specific. It's a very high MSRP on this specific car. It's almost 600 grand for an F8. That's extremely rare. You don't hear that. The reason why is because the Ganushi are gray, the red interior, the carbon fiber. It's 3 different colors: gray, red, carbon. Those are my colors. And that's a spec that I would do in all of them. There's one LaFerrari like that. There's one F50 like that. And there's one Enzo like that. But you can't find it in the others, the big 5.
Specifically red interior like that.
Yeah.
That's your style.
That spec right there. So I have a Persangre coming this way. I have a SF90 coming that spec. I did my G-Wagon. I did a Spectre. I did a Phantom like that. I did so many cars in that specific spec.
Have you been able to drive a Purosangue yet?
No.
No.
I sat in one at the Ferrari dealership. I haven't driven it. I haven't turned it on yet. But
Yeah.
I'm assuming they're going to do a good job.
Yeah.
It's Ferrari, right?
It's safe,
when the
semi-safe
US
to
first
assume.
came out, bro, I didn't like it. I'm like, it's kind of weird looking. Looks like a Volkswagen.
Yeah.
It's weird. But the second you drive the car, you change your mind completely.
Very much.
You're like, whoa, this thing's fast. Bro, it's the world's fastest SUV.
Literally.
So it's like you're driving, you're like, all right, Lamborghini did a really good job with this one.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Ferrari's going to do the same. V12, the suicide doors, it looks cool, right?
Yeah.
It's a 4-seater, not a 5-seater. That's what I'm understanding,
Bucket
right?
seats.
Yeah, but that's what that's one of my favorite things about it is you look at those rear seats and it's like literally two
Captain seats, yeah.
rear bucket seats,
Yep.
like you're sitting in the front of a Ferrari, just put in the rear. So it's
Yeah.
like you bring two of your friends in your Ferrari. It's like they're getting.
Yeah,
They're getting
they're not
the Ferrari
advertising it as like an
experience,
SUV.
you know?
It's not an SUV. This
Right.
is a per song way. It's not an SUV,
It's
right?
its own, its own
it's not for your
category now.
wife.
Yep.
It's not a wifey car. It's not a daily car.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I already know
it's
where
a
you're going when
Persong.
you say that. Thank you. I
It's a
think
Persong,
the
right?
Urus is absolutely the housewife car, but I'm not even going to go
Yes.
anywhere between. It was built. The whole
Yeah.
thing people don't realize they like. I think a big push for like the super SUVs. It was happened when they built all that. But in all reality, Lamborghini was trying to tap into a new market that was
Yes.
untapped by them before.
Yeah.
They were like, well, now okay, well I have my Aventador. Now my wife's complaining that well, I want to go for a drive. I want to be able to take Lambo and stuff like that. Here's the Urus. We built it for you. Ferrari's like, no. This car is specifically built so that
Correct.
you can have a second car.
Yes.
Screw the fact that
Correct.
the housewife.
Right.
is.
You know, honestly, it's a smart move for all the brands. You know, Rolls-Royce did it with the Cullinan,
Yeah.
Bentley with the Bentayga, Aston Martin recently did one.
Yep.
They're all doing it. It makes sense. You know, there's a market there. But yeah, if I had to pick one SUV out of all of them, G-Wagons would be my first, but the Cullinans are also
Cullinans are
very,
ridiculous.
very fun car to drive, man.
You messed me up with that Cullinan, man.
Right?
You
It's
I hate you for this. You have no idea.
It's
Now I'm
wild.
driving the damn thing and I'm like, what the hell do I have to do to get
Yeah,
one
one of my favorite
damn
specs on
Cullinan?
that specific car is the black on orange. It's so hot right now.
It's
the rims
stupid.
are sick. And
Ridiculous.
that specific one,
I'm telling you,
Done right.
Sitting in the back at night with the Starlight headliner is just
the starlights, the
Oh,
TVs, you have the captain seats in the back, right?
the vibes are
Sick.
you screwed me.
immaculate.
You've
It's
no idea.
amazing.
You absolutely ruined me.
That one is done right.
Yes,
Yeah,
very
it
much
makes
so.
sense. You look at that car and you're like, why is it so expensive? People are really, forking it out for that. There's a reason.
It's worth
It's-
it. Very
yeah,
much so worth
it's
it.
such a unique experience.
I can't wait for McLaren to drop their shit bucket of an SUV eventually. Hopefully,
Yeah, we'll see if that
I'd love
happens.
to see that shit
God.
happen. Yeah, I'll probably end up buying it like an idiot. And
Not recommended.
Well, Porsche was the only one to do it back in 02. You know, they
I think they started it, right?
They figured it out.
Yeah, I feel like they started it.
Yeah, they did it for a good 15 years before anyone else jumped on the wagon. They
Yep.
were the Cayenne.
Yeah, I had the
their,
Cayenne.
Their moneymaker
Yeah, I had the
forever.
Cayenne.
What is your take on Porsche as a brand?
Amazing, phenomenal. They make a great product. They're great cars. Great resale profit. That's what I like about these cars, right? I'm also looking at the business point of view. I can't just fall in love with a car. It's got to make sense. It's got to
Right.
make dollars, right?
Yeah.
So the concept of not losing your ass off when you sell the car is also very fun. So you want to make sure that you're safe, and they do a really good job of that. Ferrari and Porsches are the best ones for resale purposes.
You got a handful of 911s right
Yes, 9 GTS, turbos, this one as well. So many of them. I have also a couple of ones coming in very soon. I'm not going to name because I have to wait until they get finalized.
I think I might know what's coming in. But
Yep.
I can't wait.
Yeah, that one.
now.
Love it.
All right, you go into
Let's do it.
The final
It's
question.
my favorite part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to judge the shit out of you on this based on these three answers you're going to give me.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not going to judge you. You can feel however you want to feel about these questions and these cars, but the internet might also judge you. So I just hope you got to be mentally prepared for that,
Okay.
because they'll come after you.
Hit 'em.
It's kind of the point. First question: what is the most overrated car today?
I'm 6'2". I think the most overrated car right now is a Huracan.
Huracan?
Yeah, especially the Huracan Spider.
Yeah.
I can't fit in it. It's not fun. I'd rather drive an Aventador.
Yeah.
I like
I'd
that.
rather drive an Aventador
I would
too.
also rather drive an Aventador. Very much so.
I don't. A lot of people, they might not have the
It's
the
rented
cash
out.
to make that
15
upgrade.
for 15. Rent it out.
Yeah, all of them. There's not one right now.
It's freaking
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Is
I
it
like
just
that answer.
is it just overrated because it's small? You don't fit? What do you not like about it?
I'm also not a big fan of having the car line up for 10 years, right? So Lamborghini does that. They do 10 years Huracan, 10 years Aventador. Why? It's a little faster.
Right. Let's change it up. Let's do more.
7 years, 8 years if you want. It's 5 years ideally, but that's the reason why it's been around forever. I had one
Yeah.
since it first came out, and for 10 years. Next.
Let's roll it. You're excited for the new replacement that's coming out?
Oh yeah. They might win me back over, so let's see what happens. But the new Aventador, which is the
Revuelto?
Revolta. Thank you. The Revolta, that looks amazing. I seen one already. I sat in them. Beautiful car. I hope it operates like a Huracan, but it's an Aventador.
Right.
It's kind of what it seems like.
Yeah.
Everything I've seen about people, the reviews I've seen on them, they're just like, it's extremely easy. It's extremely comfortable.
You'll see, because I've had a lot of nightmares with these Aventadors. They constantly have issues, the transmissions, they have problems, right?
Yeah.
But we deal with them. But with the new ones, I hope those problems disappear. I just hope that the convertibles are not going to be those stupid fucking T-tops that they have for the past 30 years. Bro, it's so annoying, man. The Murciélagos with the reg top and the Aventadors with the fucking T-tops like a fucking C8. Bro, I wish they fucking changed that shit.
I just don't know. In that car, I don't know if they have any room to do anything else.
Figure it out, bro. You're Lamborghini.
They should
Figure it out.
Looking at the Revelto.
Corvette finally figured it out after fucking 60 years.
Looking at the
T-tops.
Revelto, I don't know how they're going to
Ferrari
figure
figured it out a long time ago, too. Figure it out, guys. What the hell?
Yeah, it's just that fat V12.
Listen to your clients.
and how smooth they want to make it.
I love it.
Yeah, we'll see if there's room. I don't know. I have my doubts. I'm expecting removable panels.
Me too.
Just personally.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I see it.
It is what it is. That in LA, it's not that big of a problem because like
In Miami, you can't.
When the top comes off, you don't need the top.
Yeah, you're
Like
good.
you're not worried about rain. Here, you got to be worried about it.
Yes.
It's a whole different thing. You're having to put it up.
We're in a tropical state here in South Florida, so we
Rain
can get
comes
rain
and
out of
goes.
nowhere in
Shit happened this
2 seconds.
morning. I walked outside and I saw rain on top of the car. I was like, the fuck didn't rain? I was like, raining for like 10
bro,
seconds.
Bro, in the morning, I wake up, the sun is out, it's beautiful, I'm getting dressed. I get in the car, it's pouring rain. The fuck? I get to the office, beautiful sun. I leave the office, hail. What the fuck, bro?
I've seen more Californias here than I have seen in California in the last
Very much so.
5 months. Like there's Californias everywhere here.
Yeah.
Oh, because that hard top goes up, down, easy.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of people do prefer convertibles here, obviously. It makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why 90% of our sports cars are convertibles.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. You want to drive around, you want the top down, all that stuff.
It's Miami. You got to be seen, baby. Come on.
Yeah, yeah.
We know where we're at.
So,
Yeah.
Question number 2.
Oh, okay.
what's the most underrated car today?
The Touring.
The Touring, really?
Touring. 911 Touring.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I was not expecting that answer
Yeah,
whatsoever.
me neither. Yeah. 2 months ago when we first got the car, I was blown away.
Yeah.
The performance behind it's insane. Yeah, the experience of driving the car is really, really fun.
Specifically the Touring model.
Yes. And specifically this one because it's manual.
Right.
Can you
So it's fun.
Can you give us some detail behind that? The experience, what made it so good? Why did you fall in love with it so quickly?
Well, it's a driver's car, right?
Yeah.
So Porsche makes those driver's cars. You know,
Yeah.
I can't really see Ferrari and Lamborghini make a driver's car. Back in the day, Ferrari used to do a lot of them. You know, but right now, that is literally the man's car. That's a fun car. It's like from the
Is it
racetrack.
just the manual or like
because of the manual reason. That's the biggest reason why. Yeah, if it wasn't for the manual, I'll probably pick a different car.
yeah, but just the sheer fact that it's a manual.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily like the steering feels a certain way or
Well, that too. For Porsches are a little tighter and nicer. They're,
Yes.
they're
Yeah.
more done right.
okay.
When it comes to the handling.
Yeah.
Handling specifically.
Because we end up hating on Porsche a lot for whatever reasons. I don't want to go down that because everyone has heard that a million times at this point. But occasionally, and we have a lot of people on that kind of hate on Porsche too. It's kind of a you either love or hate it sort of brand. It seems
Hot
like.
topic.
Yeah. Another big thing that I personally love Porsches is the fact that you're not obnoxious, right?
Yeah.
Driving a Lamborghini, Ferrari. Some people judge, some people don't. But when you drive a Porsche, it's classy.
Yeah.
You could fucking smoke a Ferrari and Lamborghini.
It's a
than one of
doctor's
the
car,
Porsches
is what it is.
But it's a really, really fun car to drive as
Respectable
well.
car.
Yeah,
Very much
respectable
so.
car. Exactly.
I agree.
I love being obnoxious, so that's probably
Yeah.
part of my problem. But yeah, I just wanted to take a minute to go into more like why you loved it because we don't we haven't always given that perspective.
Positive light to the brand.
We haven't really given that perspective
We
much
focus
of
on
a
the negative
platform.
part.
So this was the opportunity for you listeners out there who love Porsche to hear a positive perspective on Porsche rather than just the constant barrage that we throw at it.
Yeah, we have a lot of different Porsches in the fleet as well. So I got spoiled by touching every single one of them.
Yeah.
Even the Boxers to the Porsche Turbos, 911s, to all sorts of them. I play with all of them, and I really, really do enjoy them.
What's your favorite 911 model then?
The Turbo.
Yeah, over
Turbo S.
over the Tourings.
Yeah.
What makes the Turbo so special for you?
For me, just okay. Again, you're specific. I'm talking about specific about my cars, right? So
Sure.
The Turbo that we have right now is automatic, and it's a lot easier to drive. The Touring's when you want to have fun,
Right.
because it's a manual, right? So it's different experiences, but yeah, I would lean towards the Turbo.
Yeah. The fastest, easy car you can find.
It's the only Porsche I tolerate.
Yeah.
It's the only one that
Turbo
I'm
S.
like, I give it to you. That's fine. This one's, it's okay. Still a little boring, but I'm not going to go to it.
You want to lay out the rules for the last question?
Yes. So last question.
Yep.
This is your dream 3-car garage, no budget, that fits, again, your current lifestyle. So if
No
you-
budget.
No budget.
3 cars.
No budget
Three cars,
at all.
No budget at all.
3 cars
If it's
only.
out there, you can have it.
3-car
It's
garage,
3 cars
no budget.
to fit your current
Veneno.
lifestyle.
That's it.
Roadster.
And then a
Veneno
Roadster.
Okay.
6x6 monster truck G wagon,
Respect.
Phantom long wheelbase.
Phantom long wheelbase.
Yeah.
Why Phantom long wheelbase so specific?
I like to be driven sometimes and want to be comfortable. I work out a lot, so I'm constantly sore.
So that long
getting in
wheelbase,
the back
baby,
seat of a
has
Phantom is the
stretch out like
easiest
this
thing in the
type
world.
thing.
It's like a Sprinter.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Phantom for sure, and I love being an SUV. The sickest SUV in the world is a 6x6.
absolutely
and
absurd.
a Veneno goes, fuck you.
Yeah.
Beat a Veneno. Tell me what a car looks
No, I
better
think this
than
might
a
have been the
Veneno.
best 3-car
The
garage we've
Veneno
had so
is,
far.
is pretty
$30 million
insane.
Veneno, like,
Yeah, no,
oh,
absolutely.
bro,
Go fuck yourself.
it's ridiculous.
Literally. But at the end of the day, it's just a rebodied event. Is it not?
Yes, but the way it looks, right?
No, it's absolutely. It's like, again, Lamborghini's like, all right, let's just pull out all the stops on one thing just to show what exactly we're capable of.
Yeah.
I love the car.
And that was done 10 years ago.
Literally.
So imagine if they went today. It's
Fucking stupid.
I want to one up the question one, and how would you? Because you're big on the specs. So how would you spec out those 3 cars?
like that.
All of them?
Gray and red, every single
Gray
one.
on red?
Every single one of them, yeah.
Where does this love for this specific spec come
I'm
from?
OCD. I like the things to match and organized in straight rows. If you look at the showroom, everything's lined up like soldiers. Yeah, I'm very detailed to that.
I love it.
Yeah.
No, the details is definitely the place you notice it. Anybody who ever comes here gets the opportunity to be here physically. You can absolutely notice initially the amount of details that is put into every single intricate piece, from the walls to the way the signs is, the lighting, the art, everything, the position of the cars. It's unreal.
Yeah, it's a blessing in disguise. It's a blessing and a curse at the same time for me because
Yeah.
I'm very detailed, OCD about it, and I have to get it done before I can move on to the next task.
Right. Very much so.
You have some Continentals, Bentleys.
Bentley Continentals. I have a couple of GTCs, Bentegas. That's it.
Okay.
The branding brand.
I feel like a couple of GTCs would be a hot Miami pick.
They are very, very fun cars, very comfortable. We have a beautiful Speed V12, right? And it's a convertible GTC. Amazing car. I love that. As a daily car, that's a great car to have.
Can't beat it.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm over the Bentegas already. I'd rather have a cool one.
Very much so.
Oh,
Doesn't
easy.
compare.
Easy.
Doesn't
No,
fucking-
for
doesn't
sure.
fucking compare.
You want a Volkswagen or you want a Rolls Royce?
Exactly.
Literally.
Yeah. Beautiful cars. All right. Well, anything else you want to highlight before we wrap it up?
No, that was fun. I like those questions.
Yeah. Well, plug the Instagram.
Yep.
Where can they find you?
Well, my name is Liram Sustiel, but MPH Club is the brand, so make sure you follow us there.
At MPH Club, baby.
Yep.
At MPH Club. Do you have a personal account you want them to follow?
Yeah,
or
my personal Liram Sustiel, so LIRAMSUSTIEL.
give them a follow.
Very much so. We appreciate you coming on, bro, and
Thank you.
taking the time out of everything to do this. It means
Thanks
a
for
lot to
having me
me.
on, guys.
Everything.
Yes, being hospitable.
This has
we
been
appreciate
fantastic.
this.
Yes.
Appreciate
been
you guys.
awesome.
Awesome.
Anytime you're in Miami and then soon to be other locations, you know the only place to call.
For sure.
MPH
Yes.
Club.
MPH Club.
Yes, sir.
Craziest showroom around.
That's a wrap.
We're out.